Did you know that plastics are one of the most versatile materials that we make use of? However, the prevalence of plastics also means that we have large amounts of them to dispose of. Huge amounts of our solid waste are plastics that make up more than 12% of all solid waste disposed. This is equivalent to 30 million tons of plastics being disposed every year. This is according to ecocycle.org. Americans throw away 35 billion plastic bottles every year, and only about 25% of the plastics produced in the U.S. is recycled. This is from containerrecycling.org. In this speech, I'll explain why plastic pollution is a problem, exploring the importance of recycling plastic, and how we can solve this problem. Researchers from WeLoveEarth.org have said that if we don't start changing our behavior over the next 12 years, the damage we have done to this planet will be irreversible. 12 years may seem like a long way away, but it's actually a lot sooner than you think. If we begin to work together to raise awareness on this issue, we can begin to protect our landfills, our oceans, and all of its creatures from being destroyed. So why do we need to start recycling plastic? As I mentioned before, if we don't start doing something soon, the damage we have already caused will be irreversible. While there's a lot of people who are making a difference, there's still people out there who don't believe in climate change. And because of this, and the fact that some people aren't educated properly about the subject, our landfills and oceans are being filled with plastic each and every day. That plastic that's being filled in our landfills and oceans are being consumed by its wildlife. Let me ask you, how many of you eat seafood? Well, the marine life doesn't know what they are consuming could be plastic, so the seafood that you're consuming could possibly be plastic. This affects Maslow's hierarchy of needs of our safety regarding our health. According to nscl.org, every year roughly 102.1 billion plastic bags are used by Americans, while only 13.3% of plastic packaging is recycled. So if recycling plastic is such an important issue, why aren't enough people talking about it or doing something about it? Well, a study done by Ellen MacArthur Foundation investigated why so many people don't believe in recycling or climate change. The study shows that some people see recycling as an inconvenience for them. They don't want to put in the extra effort. Also, some places have no pickup policies, which make people think it's okay to leave their trash behind. Another reason is that some people don't think that recycling makes a difference. Misinformation about overfilling landfills and climate change has convinced some people that recycling doesn't make a difference. They believe that there's no problem, but the main reason why people say that they don't recycle is because recycling is inaccessible to them. Another study done by Container Recycling Institute looked at the psychological reasoning behind why people don't recycle. Recycling is like a behavior, they said, because the reward for recycling is saving the earth, and the repercussions for repeatedly recycling is damaging the environment aren't necessarily immediate. It can be hard for people to make association between their daily habits and those habits' consequences. These seem to be a lot of factors influencing plastic recycling. So what can we do to help solve this issue? We can begin by first properly educating people, especially people at a young age, considering they're the next generation, and by raising awareness of how damaging plastic is to our landfill and oceans. Some people who aren't educated properly don't know that only certain types of plastic can be recycled. For example, plastic straws cannot be recycled. If we educate and raise awareness on this issue, this can reduce plastic usage and climate change. Importantly, I have developed a solution I like to call recycling everywhere. As I mentioned before, it was found that people don't recycle because it isn't accessible to them. Well, if we put recycling bins almost everywhere people go/are, there will be 3 bins next to each other, and they would have labels on top of the bins explaining which recycling product can go into which. For example, there could be a recycling bin just for plastics, and then one for aluminum and one for paper. Also on the bins have educational facts explaining why recycling is important. People may complain about the bins because of tax reasons, but would you rather see recycling bins, or would you rather see just trash laying around your community? Imagine an ocean filled with marine life swimming around peacefully. Now imagine it being filled up with all kinds of plastic to the point where you can't even see the ocean. Imagine an open space where wildlife roam free. Now imagine it with dead trees and trash left over from people. It may not seem like a big deal to just buy one plastic bottle compared to how big the ocean is, but imagine the cap of that plastic bottle being eaten by a sea turtle. As I mentioned before, marine life do in fact eat plastic because to them it just looks like regular food. So if you do eat seafood, then you're also eating plastic. And nobody wants to be eating plastic. If even 50% of people start recycling, plastic can make a huge difference in the overall problem. And if my everywhere recycling was in place, we could put them anywhere and promote them. Then people can see how important recycling is and start doing it themselves, and it'd be accessible for everyone. Almost like a chain effect where someone starts recycling, then the next person, and then the next. Let's keep in mind how beneficial recycling would be for both wildlife and marine life, and yourself as well. At the rate we are at a society is going, by 2015, there'll be more plastic in the ocean than fish. And by 2020, researchers believe that the amount of plastic in the ocean will be 10 times greater. This is according to ecocycle.org. This means we'll be losing our marine life, which affects our ecocycle, and this is unacceptable. Start now. Bring your own reusable bags while shopping. Start using metal straws. Start reusing reusable stainless steel cups/water bottles. You can go to welovetheearth.org where you can take a quick quiz to see your carbon footprint, which is the amount of carbon dioxide and other carbon components emitted due to the consumption by a person. And send a petition that's calling on governments leaders to support a global deal for nature that protects and restores 50% of Earth's land and oceans. Let me show you what that website looks like. If you scroll down, you can click right there and you can take the test. This is a massive issue that can be resolved if we work together towards solving it with My Everywhere Recycle. If we group together as a country, raise awareness, and become educated about it, we can prevent our Earth from being destroyed.